Hey YouTube, Motor Racing Network, Steve Post here. Another great Diecast review show. Can't wait to show you what we've got in mind as we get ready for the big Memorial Day weekend and all the happenings here in Charlotte. But first, let's look back at what happened at the Monster Mile. Matt Kenseth, for the third time, he scored a win there, 37th career win. What a battle between Kenseth, super rookie Chase Elliott, and our guy Kyle Larson. I'm telling you what a thrilling race it was at the Monster Mile. Matt Kenseth Diecast is available, and that race winner is available, but you must pre-order it. Go to planbsales.com, upper right-hand corner, Kenseth Dover 2016. You can pre-order his diecast and get yours in. Again, pre-orders determine what the production of this diecast status will be. So you need to pre-order it, Matt Kenseth fans, to get that race-winning diecast from Dover. Now, speaking of diecast, we mentioned we're coming into the All-Star Race Weekend and 600 Racing. Plan B Sales, we're located in Concord, North Carolina. We have our warehouse sale, and we're going to have a display and a tent out by Charlotte Motor Speedway. The Charlotte Motor Speedway location will have all of the current stuff, diecast apparel, all of the great stuff will be out there. We're working on the location as we take this, so follow our Twitter at Plan B Sales, and we will share with you where our location is. You need to make sure you check it out. What gets really exciting, though, is here at the warehouse, we're going old school here at the warehouse. We have got a lot of old school diecast, and that's what we're going to sell at deep discounted prices right here at Plan B Sales. Look at some of these diecast cars. The Jeff Gordon Sesame Street Wizard of Oz car. Some of the Rainbow Warrior cars. Some of the original cars that we have of Jeff Gordon. The 2004 inaugural season car. We've got some great Jeff Gordon diecast. The Car of Tomorrow diecast. Remember these? They have the wing on the back. We have got Car of Tomorrow diecast, some Tony Stewart stuff. This is actually an all-star winner for Tony Stewart. We've got great Tony Stewart. We've got Casey Kane diecast back in the Dodge days with Ray Evernham. And yes, we have Dale Earnhardt Jr. old school diecast as well. Some of the old Budweiser number 8 cars that we have available for Dale Earnhardt Jr. So here at the warehouse, old school diecast. You're going to need to make sure you check that out here at the warehouse. Out at the racetrack at Charlotte Motor Speedway, both weekends, All-Star and 600. We will be there with all the latest and greatest in diecast and apparel. Alright, now it's time for our favorite part of the Diecast Review Show, your questions. They're right down below here on YouTube. Type your question in. Each week we'll grab a couple of them. William writes in and says, do you think Joe Gibbs Racing will continue their dominance throughout the rest of the season without challenge from any other teams? And a follow-up on that is, which team do you believe would have the best chance competing against them? You know, William, it's a great question, and it's a question that every team in NASCAR is asking, including Joe Gibbs. How do we maintain where we're at? I think the thing that's amazing about what Joe Gibbs is racing is all 4 cars are so good. Denny Hamlin won the Daytona 500. He's been so fast. Pit road has been his nemesis. But if they get that sorted out, Hamlin's winning more races. Matt Kenseth, we talked about all the bad luck he had. He shook that all off, won at Dover. Don't be surprised if Kenseth doesn't win often going forward. Carl Edwards, rock solid all year. Kyle Busch, rock star all year. So the Joe Gibbs camp, I think what makes it amazing and what makes your question interesting is all 4 are good. Now, I do think they will continue with their dominance, but I do think there's some other teams that can jump in there. Now, I don't see other teams, full blocks of teams, other than maybe the 2 cars at Penske Racing. I think they need to get their act together a little bit better, and they can come up and challenge. But I think individual cars within teams can challenge Joe Gibbs Racing. I think the 4 car at Stewart-Haas Racing, Kevin Harvick, he seems to have a lot of speed, seems like he is poised to challenge. I think Martin Truex Jr., which is an alliance team with Joe Gibbs Racing, can challenge. And yes, I think Jimmy Johnson is still pretty stout. He was rolling up at Dover before that gearing problem caused the accident. So I think it may not be big school teams like Hendrick Motorsports or Stewart-Haas Racing, but individual teams within those teams, I think, will get up there and mess things up just a little bit for Joe Gibbs Racing, but I'm not sure how much because Joe Gibbs Racing is really, really good. Second question, Joshua Kurtz, do you think NASCAR should bring out the Burnout Challenge or bring back the Burnout Challenge at Charlotte Motor Speedway? This was really cool, Joshua. What NASCAR, and actually it was Charlotte Motor Speedway that put this together, and they had a couple of drivers come out and they put flags on their cars, and it wasn't their team's race cars. They were cars that Charlotte Motor Speedway provided, and they had burnout competitions out on the front straightaway before the All-Star race. It was a lot of fun, a lot of smoke, a lot of good times, but I'm not sure we're doing it again, Joshua, and if you liked it, I'm sorry to tell you that, because it was expensive. It cost the Speedway a lot of money to repair those cars and get those cars back to shape. So the burnout is cool, and we actually hear drivers talk about how much money and how much they want to save the team by not doing burnouts. But when you win a race, there's a lot of prize money. There's a lot that goes with it. When you're just burning a car out for a little burnout competition, I'm not sure we're going to see that going forward with the All-Star race. So, hey, that's great questions. We appreciate it. Again, all those questions right down below here on our YouTube page. Alright, so we just talked about the burnout contest. They're always looking at something to do at the All-Star race. This year, different format. 2 50-lap segments. I had to write it down because it's a little bit confusing. 2 50-lap segments, each with a mandatory pit stop minimum of 2 tires. A mandatory 2-tire pit stop between those first 2 segments. And then what they're going to do after the second 50-lap segment, they're going to draw a number, 9, 10, or 11. That's how many cars have to come down pit road for a pit stop. That means if you're running right after that, that will put you up front on older tires. That will put the cars that had to pit in the back on newer tires. And then we're going 13 laps for the win of the All-Star race. It's really strange. It's really different. I believe Brad Keselowski had a lot to say on what happened on this, but it's interesting, and I applaud him for mixing it up. And we might be talking next week here on the Diecast Review Show of the greatest All-Star race of all time. So consequently, I'm not sure what my take is on the format. I like mixing it up a little bit. I like a challenge because the All-Star race had gotten a little bit stale over the course of time at times. And so, hey, mix it up and give it a whirl. When we look at All-Star winners, Jimmy Johnson, not a shocker, a 4-time All-Star winner. Ryan Newman, Matt Kenseth, Jamie McMurray, Casey Kane, Kevin Harvick, Denny Hamlin, Carl Edwards, Kurt Busch, Tony Stewart, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. all have race wins in the All-Star race. And finally, our question of the week. Last week we asked you your favorite, your most prized diecast, and I loved reading about those cars and some of the things that you really had really prized, and I really enjoy hearing about your diecast collection, so I appreciate you sharing that here on YouTube. As far as mine goes, I've got an MRN. It was a custom-made MRN Kerry Madsen sprint car when MRN sponsored him at the World Finals, and that is my prized diecast that I have in my collection. But I'm working on a project with diecast that I'm really excited about, and someday maybe I'll get a chance to share what I'm working on with diecast. Very personal, but really cool. But that's what the beauty of diecast is that it tells the story of what you remember about a race or your favorite driver, and it is so cool. This week's question of the week: what is your favorite All-Star race memory? And man, there have been so many of them. So what is your ultimate All-Star race memory? Type it in down below, and we'll look forward to sharing those memories with you over the course of this week here on the Plan B Diecast Review Show. So thanks again for joining us. All this great diecast available at our warehouse sale at the track this weekend. Those of you not coming to Charlotte, it's always available at planbsales.com. We love that you guys are getting involved with us here on YouTube. We have the comments below. Feel free to mention your comments here. Follow us on Twitter at Plan B Sales, and we'll keep you informed on what we have. And please get some back and forth conversation going, because we love talking racing and love talking with you race fans out there, and we appreciate the business you do give us.